Hello everyone, in this video I will discuss about electromechanical type transducer. So from that I will cover strain gauge. So strain gauge is basically a device which is used to measure the force value. It can also act as a secondary transducer which can measure the pressure and stress value also. So strain gauge basically consists of thin wires which are arranged parallelly and forms a grid like structure. And they are fixed to a backing support which is known as carrier. This carrier is basically made up of glass reinforced polymer, and we attach this strain gauge to the device of which we are measuring the force using some kind of adhesive. So these ends are soldered so that the lateral strain which it will produce because of the application of force will be less as compared to the longitudinal strain. So what happens, suppose you consider this is a rod. When you apply some amount of some kind of tensile force, what will happen? This rod or wire will stretch. So because of the stretching, its length will increase and its diameter will reduce. And if you will apply the same rod, if you will apply some kind of compressive force, then what will happen? It will compress the wire, that means its length will reduce and its diameter will increase. So in either way, because of the application of either tensile force or compressive force, the dimension will change. So what is strain? Strain is change in dimension by original dimension. So your longitudinal strain is change in length by original length, that is delta L by L. And what is your lateral strain? Lateral strain is change in diameter divided by original diameter. So what is the resistance value? Resistance is rho L by A. So rho is the resistivity, L is the length, and A is the area of cross section. So because of the strain, your length changes and also your diameter changes. That's why your area will also change. So length and area will change. That means your resistance depends upon length and area. So it depends directly. It is directly proportional to your length and inversely proportional to your area. So if because of the strain, the length and area will change, that means your resistance will change. So if the force is tensile, that means your length is increasing and diameter is reducing, that means area is reducing and length is increasing. So in that case your resistance will increase. So in that case R new resistance is R plus delta R. And when it will face some kind of compressive force, in that case length will reduce and diameter will increase. So in that case your resistance will decrease, so R minus delta R. So in either case there will be some change in resistance, either it will increase the resistance or it will decrease the resistance, but there will be change in resistance. But the resistance change, that is the delta R value, what we observe, that is slight more than the change in resistance due to change in length and area. This is because the resistivity of the material also changes due to the application of force and due to the due to the production of strain or due to the generation of strain. So resistivity will also change. So in this delta R, it will depends on rho L and A. So basically we check that whatever amount of strain it is producing, whatever amount of force it is applying, that amount of force it is able to transfer to the strain gauge or not, because these wires are attached to the strain gauge through this backing arrangement and also using some adhesive. So through the adhesive and this backing support, it is able to transmit that amount of force or not. We to check that, we calibrate the strain gauge using strain gauge sensitivity. So what is strain gauge sensitivity? We call it as gauge factor. So gauge factor is change in resistance divided by original resistance divided by change in length divided by original length, or you can say delta R by R divided by your strain. So while purchasing the strain gauge, they mention this gauge factor value. So basically this change in resistance we measure it using a Wheatstone bridge, and from that gauge factor, you know, it is mentioned while purchasing the strain gauge, and this delta R value we measure from that Wheatstone bridge circuit, and from that we calculate the strain, and from that strain value we calculate the equivalent amount of force value. So what happens, how we calculate this gauge factor? This there is a relation between gauge factor and Poisson's ratio. So Poisson's ratio is your ratio between lateral strain divided by your longitudinal strain. So your lateral strain is change in diameter by original diameter, and your longitudinal strain is change in length by original length. So your change in diameter and change in length are opposite to each other. When your length increases, diameter decreases, and when your length decreases, diameter increases. So to compensate this, we use a minus sign or negative sign. So this is your Poisson's ratio is represented as mu. So this is mu equal to minus delta d by d divided by delta L by L. So this mu value is a Poisson's ratio is depends on the material. So from that material, whatever strain gauge wire material you are using, from that you can know the Poisson's ratio value. So from that we can calculate the gauge factor. So to relate this, we will do the derivation. So I told you the resistance depends on your resistivity, length and area of cross section. So what is the change in resistance? So we will differentiate it. So dr equal to, so this is the total derivative. So here here your resistance depends on three variables, that is your rho, L and A. So when your function depends on more than one variable, at that time we do the partial derivative. And we do the derivative with partial derivative means we do the derivative with each variables keeping the other variables constant, and the total derivative is the sum of your partial derivatives. So your dr is, first you will differentiate it with respect to rho, then we will differentiate it with respect to L keeping other things constant, then we will differentiate it with A keeping other things constant. So dr equal to del by del rho, del R by del rho into d rho plus del R by del L into dl plus del R by del A into dA. So here your area is strain gauge wires. If we will cut it, then what is its area of cross section? It's a circle. So what is the area of circle? Pi by 4 d square. So pi by 4 is a constant value, so we can write it k d square. So what is resistance value? Rho L by k d square. So what is dr? If we differentiate it with respect to diameter, then it will be del R by del rho into d rho plus del R by del L into dl plus del R by del A into del D into dd. So your del R by del rho instead of R, we will replace it with the value, that is rho L by k d square. So del by del rho into rho L by k d square into d rho plus del by del L of rho L by k d square into dl plus del by del d of rho L by k d square into dd. When we are differentiating with respect to resistivity, at that time we are keeping the other variables constant. So L by k d square, here L by k d square is constant, so we will take it outside. So L by k d square del rho by del rho into d rho plus here when we are differentiating with respect to length, at that time we are keeping resistivity and diameter, and this constant value will take it outside. So rho by k d square, it is we will take it outside, then del L by del L, del L by del L into dl. Next, del by del d of rho L by k d square dt. So we'll differentiate it. So plus del by del d of rho L by k d square into dd. So that value will be your it's looking blur. So when we are differentiating with respect to diameter, at that time your length and resistivity are constant, so we will take that to the outside. So rho L by k del by del d of 1 by d square dd. So what is derivative of x to the power n? That is n into x to the power n minus 1. So here if we will take d square to the top, then it will be d to the power minus 2. So its differentiation will be minus 2 by dq. So it is rho L by k minus 2 by dq into dd. So what is dr value now? Dr value is L by k d square del rho by del rho into d rho plus rho by k d square del L by del L into dl plus rho L by k minus 2 by dq into dt. So what is del rho by del rho? Derivative of any variable with respect to itself is 1. So this value is 1. And what is del L by del L? This is also 1. So we will get dr equal to L by k d square into d rho plus rho by k d square into dl minus 2 rho L by k into k d square into k dq into dt. So what is dr by r? To find out the Gauss vector, we have to Gauss vector is dr by r divided by dl by l. So we have to find out the relation between them to find out the Gauss vector. So we know that change in resistance, that is dr value now, that is equal to L by k d square d rho plus rho by k d square dl minus 2 rho by k dq into dd. So dr by r is equal to, so we will divide the whole equation divided by r. So r is rho L by k d square. So L d rho divided by k d square k d square plus rho dl divided by k d square minus 2 rho L by k dq into dd divided by your rho L by k d square. So in the first term L by k d square that is common, so it will be cancelled. So d rho by rho plus in this case rho by k d square common, second term. So rho by k d square it is common, so it will be cancelled. So rho by k d square it will be cancelled, so it will be dl by l. In the third term it is rho L by k d square it is common, so it will be cancelled, so minus 2 dt by d. So your dr by r value is d rho by rho plus dl by l minus 2 dt by d. Now you have to equate dr by r with dl by l to find out the Gauss vector. So and we are relating it to Gauss, we are doing this derivation to find out the relation between Gauss vector and your Poisson's ratio. So Poisson's ratio is your mu is your minus dt by d divided by dl by l. So we have to find out the relation between this Poisson's ratio and the Gauss vector value. So to derive this, if we will derive it in terms of Poisson's ratio, we have to divide it by dl by l. So if we will multiply and divide the same thing, then its equation value will not change. So we will multiply dl by l here and we will divide dl by l here. So your dr by r equal to dl by l minus 2 dt by d divided by your dl by l into dl by l. So your dl by l will get cancelled. So d rho by rho, first term will be, second term will be dl by l, and third term will be minus dt by d divided by dl by l is your that is your Poisson's ratio. So mu equal to minus dt by d divided by dl by l. So it will be plus 2 mu dl by l. So if we will take dl by l as common, so d rho by rho plus dl by l into 1 plus 2 mu, that is equal to your dr by r. So dr by r equal to d rho by rho plus dl by l into 1 plus 2 mu. So we have to find out the Gauss vector. So Gauss vector is dr by r divided by your dl by l. So dl by l is equal to so dr by r is equal to Gauss vector times dl by l. So Gauss vector times dl by l is equal to your dr by r. So here it is dr by r equal to g Gauss vector times dl by l, that is equal to your d rho by rho plus dl by l into 1 plus 2 mu. So what is the Gauss vector? Gauss vector, if we will divide dl by l in this side, so g equal to d rho by rho divided by dl by l plus this 1 plus dl by l into 1 plus 2 mu divided by dl by l. Your dl by l got cancelled, so that will be 1 plus 2 mu. So that is equal to l d rho divided by, or you can say dl by l is your strain value, so that is equal to d rho by rho divided by your strain plus 1 plus 2 mu. So this is your Gauss vector value. So what is the Gauss vector value? Gauss vector is d rho by rho divided by strain plus 1 plus 2 mu. Mu is your Poisson's ratio. So when we neglect the change in resistivity value or piezoelectric effect, if we will neglect, then this term will be 0. So Gauss vector is 1 plus 2 mu. This is the final formula when we neglect the piezoresistive effect. So mu is your Poisson's ratio. If we will know the strain gauge material, then we can find out its Poisson's ratio. So from that Poisson's ratio we can find out the Gauss vector value. So we'll solve two numericals on this topic. So the first numerical is a strain gauge wire which is made of some iron alloy. So its Gauss vector is given as 4.4. So Gauss vector is given as 4.4. So we have to find out the Poisson's ratio of that strain gauge wire material. So what is the Gauss vector formula? Gauss vector is 1 plus 2 mu. So 4.4 equal to 1 plus 2 times Poisson's ratio. So that means 3.4 equal to 2 times Poisson's ratio. If we will take 1 to that side, then it will be 3.4. 4.4 minus 1 equal to 2 times mu. So mu equal to 3.4 divided by 2, that is equal to 1.7. So this is the Poisson's ratio value. So another question is, next question is, a strain gauge wire with length is 12 cm and area of cross section is 3.8 cm square. Its on strain resistance, that means when strain gauge is not subjected to any load or strain, at that time the resistance was 220 ohm, and Gauss vector value is given as 2.2. And when it's subjected to some strain, at that time the change in resistance that it observed is 0.015 ohm. So the Young's modulus of elasticity is 207 giganewton per meter square, and we have to find out the force that is the beam is facing, subjected to, and we have to find out the change in length value, that is delta L value. So to find out this, so how you will find out the delta L value? So you know the Gauss vector. So Gauss vector is delta R by R divided by delta L by L. So delta R is your 0.015 ohm, R is 220, and delta L you have to find out, and L you know 12 centimeters. So you have to convert, you can convert it into meter, or you can keep everything in centimeters. So I am converting it into meter. So 12 centimeter is 0.12 meter. So that is your this Gauss vector value is given as 2.2. So 2.2 equal to 0.015 divided by 220 divided by delta L divided by 0.12. So from that you can find out the delta L value. And next, to find out the force value, so Young's modulus of elasticity is given. So Young's modulus of elasticity is your stress by strain. So stress is your force by area. and strain is your change in length by original length, delta L by L. So your force area is given as 3.8 centimeter square. So if you will convert it into meters, so 3.8 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square divided by delta L you find from here. In the first bit you calculated delta L value, so you have to put that value here, delta L value. Then length value is 0.12. So that is your Young's modulus of elasticity, which is given as 207 giganewton per meter square. So 207 into 10 to the power 9 Newton per meter square. So from here the delta L value you have calculated in the first bit, so you have to put it here. So all are known, only force is unknown. So you can solve this equation and find out the value of force. So in this lesson I will discuss only about this much. So here I have discussed about what is strain gauge, then what is gauge factor, and how we can relate the gauge factor with the Poisson's ratio. So all these derivations I have done in this lesson, and in the next lesson I will discuss about the strain gauge circuits, that is about the Wheatstone bridge circuits.